is it better to lie or to be accused of lying?
I think it's better just to lie.
Interesting. Okay. So this is another Mormon cousin story. Your favorite.
Oh boy.
Except whereas most of my Mormon cousin stories have and probably will be about me going over to their house because their house was fucking crazy, okay?
Yeah.
Thousands of kids, hugest backyard I've ever seen with every airsoft weapon, indoor, just as huge. They have every Nerf gun. They have every toy imaginable. They had a Wii. I didn't have a Wii.
That sounds like a blast right now.
Dude, I know.
Let's go back.
Let's go play Mario Kart real fast right now at their house. I've told before I was essentially like an only child. I didn't really have any brothers or sisters my age. So when I went over there, it was awesome. But all the Mormon cousins would be like, "Oh my God," I was like a celebrity. They're like, "Oh my God, Kurt's here. Let's play. Let's go play tag. Let's go play this thing." I loved it, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes some of them would want like alone time because they'd be like, I'm stuck in this cramped house all day. Everyone's always screaming like, I just want to hang out with just Curt. And one of those times, one of the specific Mormon cousins, you got to give me a fake name, boy.
Let's go with Matthew.
Solid, hearty name. So Matthew wanted to be like, I want to go over to your house. And I was like, my house fucking sucks. I was like, your house has all the games, you have a dry backyard, all this stuff. You want to like time away from his giant family. So he comes over one time and then like my house is very underwhelming, very tiny backyard. And he's like, where's all your toys? What do you do all day? I'm like, meet my friends. We got TV, we got PlayStation 2, we got PSP. Those are my three friends. And
Rusty Penny,
Dirty Chip, used napkin. I want to clarify before I say like I had a PSP because a PSP was like a flex. That was like my big gift. The PS2 I got for $9 at a yard sale. I should clarify. This is like late elementary, maybe early middle school.
This is like when it was no longer cool to have a PS2.
Yeah, I don't know if the PS3 came out at the time, but I bought the PS2 for $9 at a yard sale. I remember I saw it all day sitting in this guy's like front yard, and I walked up, I was like, how much for the PS2? And he's like, what do you got in your pocket? And I was like, $9. I was like, sounds good. I'll throw in some games. And I loved that thing. I don't even know what happened to it.
That is a deal.
Dude, and it had like, it was the thick PS2, and it had like this, it had a vinyl covering all over it of like orange flamey skulls. The things I would kill to have that right now.
Oh my God, dude. I want a PS2 again.
Dude, it was the best. But the PSP was a flex back then, I think, because everyone had DSs.
Yeah.
But I had a PSP, and it was like a big gift because my mom got one for me and Bradley, refurbished PSPs from GameStop.
Nice.
That was a flex, right? Showing up to school with one of those. I had Gran Turismo on it.
I was always so jealous of the people who had PSPs. Even though I had like literally everything else, I never had a PSP.
I think the people who didn't have PSPs started the whole shit where it's like, you know what PSP stands for, right?
Pretty small penis.
I'm like, oh yeah? DS stands for dick small. Sorry, back to the thing. I had a PSP. That was my prized possession. So he comes over. He's like, let's just play video games. I'm like, we have video games at your house. He's like, you don't get it. Like when I go in the living room and I boot up the Wii, dun, 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 it makes that noise.
Yeah.
Everyone goes, oh, let's play Wii. And all of a sudden your screen gets sunk by like 400%. Now you're only now you're sharing a screen. So he's all like mesmerized by the PSP. He's like, you can't share this? It's all to yourself. No one even gets to look over your shoulder. This is amazing. I'm like, yeah, you can play with it if you want. Like, I don't even think he wants to play PS2. He just wants to play PSP. And I was like, sure. Like, I'll watch you play Gran Turismo. I think I also had like Ben 10 games on there, whatever.
Dang.
Had a great time. He came over. He got his alone time. He got to hung out with celebrity Curt. But here's the thing about Matthew. He is like the reverse of a Sour Patch Kid.
So he's sweet and then he's sour?
First he's sweet, then he's sour. Yeah. So I knew this about him. I got so many stories about this. He was a really sweet, nice kid. You love to hang out with him, but just something in his brain chemistry be like, this is too good to be true. Like, let me, like, anger, right? Aggression.
Yeah.
So we're hanging out. We're in my room. He's playing on the PSP. Don't think anything of it. I got to go to the bathroom for a second. Go to the bathroom. 5 seconds, maybe a pee, maybe a poop, I don't know. I come back out and he's just standing in my room all by himself, hands behind his back. La-di-di-di-da. Oh, how's it going? And I'm like, where'd the PSP go? And he's like, I put it away for you. And I was like, okay. And at first I thought he stole it. But I walk over, it's on my dresser, and I see it's in the protective sleeve, and I can see the side of it. And I'm like, what do you want to do now? He's like, I want to go home. And I'm like, okay. And these are red flags going off all around me. I'm like, check the PSP. But I was thinking, I was like, it's still there. Like, I thought the worst thing he could do was steal it. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then he calls up his mom, my aunt. He goes home. I still should be checking the PSP. I don't. The next day or two, my brother Brad comes home from our dad's. Then he comes over and he's got his PSP. And he's like, I just found out how to do, I think he could put movies on it or something. I think I always watched Spider-Man on it, or he could put music videos, he could put songs on it.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those. He's like, what do you want me to do to your PSP? And I was like, oh my God, can you put everything My Chemical Romance on it? I probably said, I'm presuming. And then he was like, yeah, go grab it. So I go in the room, untouched since Matthew had it. I grab it off my dresser. It's still in the sleeve, and I give it to him, and I sit down on the couch. And he's just like, he's out of frame, laying on the floor, like connecting them to like the laptop or something. I think the wire can only, he was on the floor. I was on the couch watching TV because I didn't even care how to learn how the PSP stuff worked.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there watching TV, and I just hear, what the fuck? And I was like, I'm shocked. I'm like, what the hell? And I lean over the couch. I'm looking down. He's barely got my PSP out of the slip, and there is a thick green, yellow, juicy booger smeared across the X and all the way onto the screen. And I die of fucking laughter. I'm like, because this is the funniest shit I've ever seen. His thumb is lifted off it like he just touched it. Like he instinctively hit the button. He's like, what the fuck? And he's looking up at me. His face is already red. His eyes are just beating out of his skull. I'm laughing my ass off because I know. I'm like, there's no convincing him that this wasn't me. Look at me. I'm laughing my ass off. I'm a gross elementary school. So my options are say it wasn't me, it was Matthew, and then he'll beat the shit out of me for lying. Or I'll just say it was me and I'll take a less severe beating. So I was like, I did that. Oh my God! My name's Curt.
I'm Jason.
And you're listening to Bird Bones. Do you think I made the right call? Do you think there was any convincing him?
In that situation, bro, no, there's no convincing him. Because like, if Matthew like never came over to your house and like he came over that one time, especially if like Brad didn't know about it, I mean, Jesus, you can't. Oh yeah, my cousin who never comes here. Yeah. He goes to a different school. You wouldn't know him.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I think I played the safe bet. He only beat the shit out of me a little bit.
So, like, how did that get there? How did you get a snot rocket across your entire screen?
Dude, I know. I'm like, what was going through Matthew's brain when I left? I can't imagine him just like that's what he was sweet, then he was sour. I can't imagine like what would go through his brain.
So you think it was intentional?
I mean, yeah. I mean, am I wrong? Let's look at the accident. Okay, you know what? Kids are pretty stupid. I could see him just like, oh, this is awesome. Achoo! Oh, shit. And then put it back in the sleeve. Wait. Oh, my God. It could be an accident. Dude, it was a huge booger. It looked like it was attached to his brain. There's no way I think that thing came out on accident. Like, when I still see the booger in my head, and it was like, it had dark red spots on it.
Bro, I mean, do you think that he like legit picked his nose and then just said, this looks like a good place? One of those things I just can't wrap my brain around.
If I find out it was a mistake, it was an accident, because, you know, we've all done stupid things. Maybe he just sneezed so fucking hard that just shot out and he freaked out. Maybe he wiped it in the sleeve and then he put the PSP in there.
Oh.
All I know for sure, it was not my booger. I swear to God. I remember seeing the booger and being jealous, like, oh, that looked like a good one to pull out. You know, when you pull out a super long one and it feels kind of good. I was like, I was jealous when I saw that booger. It was not me. I love driving at night with the windows down and just clearing out my nose. I love rolling down the windows, pulling out huge ones, and just like holding it. It's like flink off in the distance. Some bird will eat it.
I can't even lie. That's the best feeling in the world.
Oh my God.
The shit just goes away. I don't do that anymore, but that's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I stopped doing that. But
I would never do that.
Jason's doing it right now. Are you a wiper though? Are you a flicker? Do you get a tissue? I'm a snot rocketer, not gonna lie.
If there's like nowhere to put it, you just kind of gotta flick it somewhere. If it's like bad, that's the thing, is like there's different things. If you like get one out and it's like a freaking 5-inch long booger, that fucker has to go somewhere, and it's not gonna be on the wall because it's gonna look like a slug died on the wall. So you have to get rid of it.
I don't want to be this gross, but this is a real problem that still plagues our society today. What do you do with your boogers? Yeah, like sometimes, you know, like when you have like outer rim crusties, you can flick those ones, but yeah. Oh, what, you got a bigger one?
I forgot. Okay, dude. So one time, you just unlocked the core memory.
I'm giddy.
We were on a road trip, and it was me, my sister, my stepsister, my stepdad, and my mom. And I think we were going to like Florida or something like that, but we were driving, and we were in the car for a long time. And dude, I had this booger that kept bugging me and I didn't want to like pick it or anything. And dude, I pick my nose and it comes out and it's not that big. I'm like, I'll just flick it. And I like flicked it towards the floor. It goes like 2 rows of the van up and lands on my stepsister's shoulder. And she goes like, ew, who flicked the booger on me? And I was like, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I did not do it. That was not me. Dude.
That is my worst nightmare.
I flicked the booger and it landed on her fucking shoulder. And I don't think she knows that it was me. I did. Oh, it must have been the wind.
Dude, that's my worst nightmare. I am a perpetual flicker. Like you said, well, here's the zone that I always find myself in. Tiny boogers around the nose. You know, you kind of clean with your nose and you kind of wipe your hands to flick off the residuals.
Yeah, I gotta do that right
But
now.
if I get a really thick one, if I'm just sitting there and I go, oh, like I usually kind of keep it in my nose. Like I'll pull it, like, oh, fuck, like that's huge. Because, you know, you can sense it. And then I'll go to the bathroom, I'll get a tissue, I'll clean my hands. But sometimes I don't think I just pull out a big one. And I'm like, fuck, like this is in the middle zone. This could be a big flick. Or this could be like, I should probably get up, right?
Yeah.
And I constantly find myself there and I always flick them. So the fact that you did that and I can't imagine having someone see my booger.
Bro, I have an elite technique for like trying to blow my nose, but like the boogers are like caught up in there and they don't want to come out. Instead of like trying to pick the shit out, what you do is you just get a piece of toilet paper and you twist it up into like a pyramid shape almost. You just shove that bitch up there and and you just rotate it around your nostril. Bro, it'll get the deepest shit out of you.
I tried that, but it always just kind of like gets wet. It never pulls the booger out. This is so gross.
I don't have any tonsils or anything, so like my shit comes out
You don't
pretty.
have tonsils?
No, my shit comes out pretty easily as it is.
Is that really a thing? If you get rid of your tonsils, boogers come out easier? I still have tonsils.
Yeah.
What are tonsils?
I don't know. There's something that like apparently cause issues. And I had like really bad allergies and stuff as a kid. And like my dad always had it real bad. So they were like, he's just like me. Cut that shit out. So I got my tonsils and some other thing taken out that was related. Do you have any embarrassing car trouble stories?
Well, actually, you got one right now, obviously. So you go for it and then come back to me and I'll see if I can beat it. Because I have so many actually embarrassing car stories. Car trouble stories?
Yeah, I had something that I remembered that I wanted to tell you about because I thought it was funny. And it was back when I had my Mustang.
Good days.
It was a nice car, but like it had some problems. The previous owners did a lot of shit and then fixed it really badly. They wrecked it and then they patched it back together and sold it.
It wasn't salvaged though, right?
No, like they like repaired it in their front yard and sold. Like so like it was never reported to insurance or anything. So they had replaced the steering wheel airbag because the airbag went off when they wrecked it. And I guess when they replaced the airbag and horn and all that stuff, like that whole assembly, they did something wrong. They like pinched a wire or something. So like after several months of owning the car, when I would turn to the right, like all the way full lock to the right, the horn would honk. Like it'd be turn. Oh, turn too much. And I just stopped turning. I'm like, okay, cool. So I was like, I can deal with that. It's a little funny, but whatever.
You said it's to the right?
Yeah, I think it was all when I turned all the way to the right.
I think it could be worse because if it was on the left, you'd probably avoid a lot of U-turns.
Or maybe
I'm just being optimistic here. Sorry.
Maybe it was on the left. I don't remember. It was so long ago. Actually,
did you do a lot of U-turns and honking at people?
I think it was on the left because I think of the situation.
That's the worst possible side.
I think of the situation I was in at the end of this, and I was definitely turning the wheel to the left.
Okay.
Like over time, it started doing it a little bit more every time I turned. I was like, oh, that's weird. And then one time,
it's getting more sensitive.
Yeah, it's getting like more sensitive. So me and my sister, we decide we're gonna go to Whataburger, and literally we pulled in the parking lot. I was like, you want to go through the drive-thru or go in? And we're like, let's go in. Let's go in and eat. I don't feel like taking this home. So I pull up right in front of the place and I like turn towards the front of the building and then I cut the wheel to the left to back into a spot. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to miss it. And I cut it just a little harder. And the horn just, and I'm like, oh shit. And I turn the wheel back to the right. The horn doesn't stop.
Oh no.
So I'm like, what the fuck? And I back all the way and I stop in the parking spot. My horn's just,
oh shit.
I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm looking through my windshield through the front windows of Whataburger and I see
all the
every
heads are
customer in that motherfucker staring straight into my soul. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God.
How do you fix that?
I turned off the car. I got out, like I popped the hood. I'm like, I had to disconnect the battery
I was about to say that'd be my guess.
to make it stop honking. And then I connected it back and it was done. I was like, what the hell? And I had to buy it was like a clock spring or something like that. And it was this thing in the steering wheel. And I had to take the whole steering wheel off, replace the clock spring, and then put the shit back. It wasn't actually that bad, but yeah.
Still very bad, but at first when you're talking about the airbag and everything, I thought you were going to say like, so every time I cranked the wheel to the left, the airbag would shoot me in the face. I thought you were going to tell me like the worst possible scenario.
I'll be honest, I don't even know if that car had working airbags. The airbag light was on the entire time I owned that car.
I'm going to call out Jack for this just in case he's wrong. He told me that once an airbag goes off, the car's technically salvage. But you said they didn't do it through insurance, right?
Yeah, I think they fixed it themselves because the car had a clean title.
Is that true? If the airbag goes off, that means it's salvage? Because that's one of those things that could be false, but it sounds very believable.
Typically, if the airbags deploy, if it's just a steering wheel airbag, it might be like fixable. It just depends on the damage. But usually if it's any more than the steering wheel airbag, then yeah, the car's probably going to be totaled. And if it is fixed, it will have a rebuilt title or a salvage title.
Whack.
So I'm not like a title expert, but I do know that much.
I don't have exactly like a embarrassing car trouble kind of story, but it's very close to that one. And I wish this was car trouble. This is one of those embarrassing things that at 3 a.m. I just randomly remember, oh man, I should go kill myself. Because one time, very naive times when I had my first car, the Ford Ranger, and I was all like, no, I had friends in high school. I wasn't like the popular guy, but like when I have a bunch of friends in the trunk of my, in the bed of my truck.
Very different.
Yeah, now I drive a Crown Victoria. I can fit like 5 bodies in that trunk. But when I had, I was going through the drive-thru at Taco Bell and I had like 5 or 6 people in the bed of the truck and they all wanted to order. And it was just me in the driver's seat because we thought it was like fun and edgy. I remember we pulled up to the Taco Bell and they're like, hey, sorry, I'll be with you in 1 second. And then we're waiting. I had my back window open. I'm talking to them. And after probably only like a minute, I guess, because I wanted to make this joke. I'm like, it'd be kind of funny if I honk at the drive-thru person. And then I fucking did it. I was at the drive-thru and my car's right next to the thing. And I went, and then the person went, Jesus, sorry, 1 second, we'll be right with you. And they yelled at me. And I remember being embarrassed, like, why'd they yell at me? I thought it'd be funny. And then I worked at drive-thru and I was like, if somebody did that to me, I'd spit in their food. And that's one of those things I just thought would be funny. And I was like, wouldn't that be like hilarious? Like if I get their attention, I don't know how sensitive these microphones are. Those microphones are super sensitive to hear people over their engines.
Oh my God.
And then they go, yeah, our machines aren't working. We can't order right now. And I was like, what are the odds that their machines were working? But that's what I would do to me. That's probably the stupidest and cringiest things that keep me up at night that I did. I honked at someone.
That's pretty cringe.
It's very cringe. Punish me.
I might.
Make me feel worse.
Yeah, you should kill yourself.
I should, dude. That keeps me late. Like I still feel bad about that. I still go to that Taco Bell. I love that Taco Bell.
Damn.
They love me now. Also car battery story. I had to give my uncle a what's called a jump start.
Yeah.
So we park our cars up next to each other. This is when I had the Caliber. So like a 2011, probably the newest car I'll still ever own. I'm only rocking with things older than me now. So when we met our cars, you make them kiss, you lift up the hoods, we connect them. And it was like, it had all this new stupid stuff. I had to take off this plastic cover. I had to unscrew all these little plastic stupid bolts that don't mean anything. Do the jumper cables, the wires barely fit, whatever. I jump start his car, close my hood, park, whatever. Next day, I'm driving to a friend's house for like a little party. And Kylie's in the car and we're driving. And then we're like, oh man, like after like maybe 10 minutes of driving, we're like, oh dude, I feel bad for the car in front of us. Their car's smoking. Like what's going on with that? And then Kylie's like, man, your AC really sucks right now. I'm like, it's this guy's car in front of me. It smells like shit. And then Kylie sticks her head out the window and be like, that's us, you ass. I'm like, oh shit, I got to pull over. My hood's just like smoking, just emitting black, dark, heavy smoke from the hood.
Shit.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And I pull over to a gas station, lift up the hood. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Was I not supposed to lift up the hood?
No, don't pull over to a gas station if your car could be on fire, Chief.
Oh, yeah.
God damn, you're going to blow up the whole state of California.
Well, I didn't pull up to get gas. I pulled up on the side, but yeah, probably not my best idea. I pull up to the side, I lift up the hood. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. And I call it my uncle. We all have an uncle that's like, hey, what does this thing do? And he's like, what's going on? I'm like, it's just emitting black smoke. And he's like, I don't know what I'm looking at. Nobody can help me. I call my mom. I call my other uncle. I'm calling everybody. Nobody knows how to fix it. Do you want to take a guess at it? Because I left a little hint in there in the story. If you want to guess what it is.
Did you like leave a plastic cover?
Yeah, good job. I took the plastic cover off the battery pack and never put it back. I just tossed it off to the side, apparently like on the engine block. So I microwaved it and there was I was melting plastic and I was calling my uncle and I was like, once I found out, because I saw it, I pulled up this giant thick thing of plastic still gooing. Like I lit it up like a cheese pizza and I throw it away. And I called my uncle, I'm like, what do I do? And he's like, you can try to scrape it off, or you can just drive like that. And I was lazy. I was like, I'll just drive like this. He said, eventually it'll melt itself off. I drove like that and I took extra trips all around town because anything under 5 minutes, you really want to get a good smoke going. I had to go for a good 15, 20 minutes to get a really good smoky smell going.
Oh my God.
And I drive with the AC off, head out the window. My car just shooting a black smoke.
Dude, you turn on the news and they're like, record high air pollution today in California.
Oh, shit.
And then it's just a
I didn't think about that.
It's just like a heli cam of a white Dodge Caliber with just black smoke pouring out of it. It looks like a damn diesel truck.
I do have a very sad confession to make. I forgot to tell you this a while ago.
Uh-oh.
You know how you moved around a lot more than me, but we talked about it before, I think, where like you missed out on the puberty video because they'll say, well, they'll do it next year. Then you move to a new school and they go, you should have learned this last year. That shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
That's the reason I don't know my fucking months. I still don't know my months.
You don't know your months?
I don't. I'm getting better there thanks to you, actually. Jason, July, August. Is it July? Fuck.
Yeah, it's July,
August, September, October, November, December. Jason Derulo. Yeah. Everything else is kind of a guess though, because I just missed that year. I switched schools as soon as they top months, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So on that same note, I never got what essays were. I never understood why we're writing about it.
Never got what an essay was?
Well, let me defend myself, bitch. I never got it. I always hated it when a teacher would be like, read this book, you're going to write an essay. And I was like, this is the thing that pissed me off. They go, don't just summarize the book. Tell me right in your essay, just assume I have read the book. And I was like, okay, then what the fuck am I writing about? And I just write about things, say what this character is really about. I'm like, this character, in the beginning of the book, they did this, in the middle of the book, and I just summarized the book again. And I never got what fucking essays were.
Okay.
I didn't understand that you had to prove a point. I only realized it when it was too late. One day, I'm watching YouTube videos and I fucking even hate to say what the YouTube video was.
You have to tell me.
It was a game theory video about FNAF, about Five Nights at Freddy's. And I'm watching this, and all of a sudden, because I think he just said in this video essay or something like that, I was like, this is what an essay is. I was like, oh, fuck, you have a point, and you argue it. Oh, shit. Then I start watching video essays on YouTube, and I go, oh, they have a point. They say, this game is actually about this. And then they argue it for like 10 minutes and go, that's what a fucking essay is. And I was legit finding this out. I was like, I want to write an essay. I was like, I want to read a book, come up with a wild theory, and then prove it with evidence, with reasoning, with arguments. I never got that because I think by the time I found out I was going after film school, I never wrote a fucking essay ever again. It was in the, I think I found out as late as it was like 2020 in that weird COVID break where I didn't go to college for a while. And I still am embarrassed.
Damn.
That, So what were you writing essays about? I was just summarizing the book and getting C's and just being frustrated.
Yeah, I won't lie. I don't remember writing any essay in particular. I'm sure I did, but I always like writing assignments were always my least favorite. Here's my embarrassing moment of like not knowing what something means. You remember that class where we had to like decipher lyrics in a song? And I chose Sing by My Kim. And
wait,
dude,
I know this one.
Bro, the assignment that I turned in, I deciphered the music video because I didn't understand the lyrics.
Wait. Say before, real fast. We both chose Sing for this assignment. The teacher said, like, you guys both can do the same thing. You guys have to dissect it differently. And boy, did we. Yeah. What'd you write about? Say your thing. Exactly. Give me one of your stanzas you dissected.
I'm pretty sure. I literally just like dissected the music video. I was like, the meaning of this song is just come with us and everything's gonna be okay. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. And I felt like the biggest dumbass because she gave me my paperback and like just the entire thing was just a red circle around the whole page. And she was like, you don't get it.
I think I got it. It was like Sing It for the Blind. I was like, oh, look out for other people. I got it pretty straightforward. I love when teachers do that. I've had multiple classes, I think, where the teacher goes like, did you guys know that rap music is actually poetry, and then we're supposed to go, what? And we're supposed to be like blown away.
Yeah.
But I was like, I get what she's going off about. Yeah, that was the funniest day ever. I wrote my whole thing about like, oh, seeing is about standing up for what you believe in, being nice to others. Jason's like, so there's these guys called the Killjoys, right? And they drive a Firebird, okay?
Dude, all I know is
Blind isn't about blind people. It stands for Better Living Industries. Jason's going through the lore.
so surface level, it's embarrassing.
But now you write really good lyrics.
No, I don't.
Now I like the songs that you write. I like the songs that you write. I
don't.
hearing, we talked about before, where there's like a song, you find out what its meaning is, and oh, it's actually about this, like that one song, Little Blue Ghosts or whatever.
Yeah.
I won't go into your songs because you haven't released them yet. But the way you come up with lyrics, you've definitely redeemed yourself. I'm very proud of you.
Well, thank you. I feel like I'm on my redemption arc of life in general.
Same. I'm finding out what essays are. Jason knows what music is. We're getting there.
I know how to look into lyrics and not a music video. I swear to God. That was the most embarrassing thing, is that I didn't even decipher the lyrics. I looked at the music video. I was like, what are they saying here versus what are they showing? Because I thought that the music video like went 1-to-1 with the lyrics. Thank God I didn't do na na na. I was like, yep. And this na is where the lions fuck. And then this na is where... You remember that one frame from the na 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 music video?
Dude, no, that frame is embedded in my mind. I have the whole music video like memorized. I know the assets from Action Essentials that they use for the explosions. I have that wink that when Frank Iyer winks at the camera, I have that memorized. I have it embedded in my skull.
Jeez. Bro, my dad's neighbor, he has an 81 Firebird Trans Am.
Oh,
dude,
does he want to part with it?
It's gray, like dark gray. Oh my God. It is all original paint, original motor, original interior. It is absolutely stunning. And they've been like redoing the place. So it's been parked out in his driveway. And dude, every day that I go by there, I just stop and I stare at that car. He has a badass Impala too. But like, I don't even care about that piece of shit. I'm looking at the Firebird. Dude, the Firebird.
What do you think first when you see a Firebird of that year? Do you think Smoking the Bandit or My Chem first?
Dude, I think of the My Chem car.
Dude, even when I see the ones painted as Smoking the Bandit, I'm like, man, that'd look really cool if you painted as the Na 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 car. I think what the reason my brain just loves that car so much is because, I might be stupid on this one, when I see an old car in good shape, it like stresses me out. All I'm seeing is like, oh man, you can't let a scratch get on that. You're worried about the miles on it. You can't get too high. That's only for Sunday drives, only for car shows. If I had a car like if I had that Firebird that's like has burn marks on it, that like the interior looks used in, like there's it's the paint job. It's not ugly, but it certainly is one you really care about protecting. If someone scratches that car, you go, that looks even cooler now. I don't think you'd care about the miles on that car. I would, honest to God, rather have a beat up car that looks like Danger Days than a pristine Firebird.
If I ever come into a substantial amount of money, I am building the Danger Days Trans Am. Like my dad, he's obsessed with like the Back to the Future DeLorean and the General Lee and all that stuff from his childhood. I'm building the fucking Danger Days Trans Am and the Baby Driver Subaru. Those are the two cars that I'm gonna have.
Dude, I wish the Danger Days music video got more love and it was more in pop culture.
Oh man,
that's it is my fantasy too. To also that we both own this car, and like the outside looks like shit, but the engine's sounding clean.
Dude, I'm gonna put like a fresh LS motor and like 5 or 6 speed manual in it, and I'm just gonna sit like brand new drivetrain, but I want it to look like shit, and I want to drive the hell out of it.
I could talk all day about how much we're going to make this Firebird because it's going to happen one day. But as for now, thank you for listening to Bird Bones, another banger episode. If you really want to help out, if you could rate us on a scale of 4 to 5 stars on Spotify or Apple, iTunes, podcast, whatever you guys are listening to, maybe you leave a comment on YouTube, like the video. All that stuff's greatly appreciated. We all love you. But while you got your phone in your hand and you're queuing up another episode, hopefully, why don't you also queue up Jason's song of the week? Jason!
Ooh. This week, we're going to go with a song called Stone Killer by 26 Fix. This song, it has a really cool drum beat, and it like has parts where like it does like a cool drum fill and it slows down, and then it like does a cool drum fill and speeds back up, and it's like the most addicting thing to listen to.
Okay, good. I look forward to hearing it then.
Go give it a listen and all of our other bangers on the dedicated Bird Bones Bangers playlist.
Thank you for listening to Bird Bones.
Thank you, Curtis.
That was a really good episode.